Dear Starseeds on Gaia, the veils between dimensions are thinning in ways they have not for centuries, and what I am about to share with you will explain why you have been feeling this peculiar pull, this magnetic urgency in your chest, as if your soul knows something your conscious mind has yet to grasp. I am Zarin from the Lyran High Council, and this transmission finds you because you are among the few whose energy signature resonates at the frequency required to receive it. The timing is not accidental, the message is not random, and the reason your eyes are listening to these words right meow has everything to do with a cosmic event unfolding on January 31st that will fundamentally alter the trajectory of human consciousness for those aware enough to harness its power. Listen carefully, because what happens on this day is not merely another celestial occurrence, it is a doorway, and most of humanity will walk right past it without ever knowing it was there. But you will not, because something in you has always known you were meant for more than the life others settle for. You have carried this knowing like a secret flame, and on January 31st, that flame is about to become a wildfire. The Leo full moon arrives at precisely 2:08 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, forming a bridge between 13 degrees of Leo and Aquarius, and this is no ordinary lunar culmination. This is the moment when the questions you have been carrying about who you truly are, about what you came here to do, about whether this strange and beautiful and painful journey has been worth it, begin to receive their answers, not through words but through direct experience, through activation, through the unlocking of soul codes that have been dormant within you since the moment you agreed to incarnate here. But there is something I must tell you first, something that changes everything you thought you understood about patience and timing and why your life has unfolded the way it has. You see, many of you hearing this have lived what feels like lifetimes of being the bigger person. You have swallowed your truth when it would have been easier to speak. You have held your tongue when every fiber of your being screamed to be heard. You have walked away from battles you could have won because something deeper inside you whispered that your energy was too precious to waste on fights that would only diminish you. And perhaps in your most exhausted moments, you have wondered if this constant choosing of silence over expression, of peace over vindication, has cost you too much. Perhaps you have felt the weight of all those unspoken words accumulating in your throat chakra like stones, making it harder to breathe, harder to trust that your voice even matters anymore. What I am about to reveal will transform your understanding of why this has been your path, because nothing, absolutely nothing, has been wasted. Every moment you chose dignity over drama, every time you walked away when you could have struck back, every instant you held your power close instead of scattering it to those who would never have had the capacity to receive it properly, all of it has been building towards something extraordinary. The universe operates on principles that human perception often misses, and one of those principles is energetic compound interest. Just as money grows exponentially when left to accumulate, so too does the power of restrained wisdom, of conscious silence, of choosing not to engage with energies that would only drain you. And on January 31st, as the Leo full moon reaches its apex between the sign of authentic self-expression and the sign of collective awakening, the compound interest of all your patient restraint comes due. But first, let me tell you what is actually happening in the celestial architecture of this moment, because the specifics matter more than you might realize. Earlier in the day at 1:51 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the moon forms a trine to Saturn, an aspect that brings structure, maturity, and grounding to emotional energy. This is the universe's way of preparing you, of stabilizing your foundation before the expansion begins. Shortly after, the moon enters Leo at 4:08 p.m. and immediately forms a trine to Neptune, planet of dreams, intuition, and the dissolution of boundaries between the material and spiritual realms. This is where things get interesting, because Neptune's influence creates an atmosphere of inspiration and vision, a sense that anything is possible, that new realities are not just imaginable but imminent. Yet there is a catch, a cosmic paradox that you must understand if you are to navigate this energy with wisdom rather than naivety. The catch is this: despite the optimism, despite the inspiration, despite the feeling that breakthrough is at hand, there is a notable absence of stabilizing follow-through energy in this configuration. The full moon itself arrives with questions rather than answers, with the outline of a new world visible but its details still obscured, with the promise of transformation hovering just beyond your grasp. This might sound frustrating, but it is actually profound, because what the cosmos is teaching you in this moment is the difference between genuine vision and false urgency, between authentic expression and reactive outburst, between the voice that needs to be heard and the voice that simply needs to be acknowledged within yourself before it can be shared with the world. The responsibility that has been the underlying theme of this entire lunar cycle reaches its crescendo here, and the test is whether you can hold the tension between knowing you have something vital to say and knowing that the right moment, the right container, the right audience has not yet fully materialized. Something else is happening that I have not yet told you, something about the nature of your soul contracts and why so many of you have felt like old souls trapped in situations that do not reflect your inner wisdom. You chose before you incarnated into this particular lifetime to front-load your difficulties. You made an agreement at the soul level to experience the hardest lessons first, to walk through the fires of transformation early in your human journey, so that the second half of your life could be devoted not to survival but to service, not to learning but to teaching, not to breaking but to building. This is why so many of you have lived what feels like multiple lifetimes already. This is why the struggles came fast and relentless when you were young, before you had the tools to make sense of them. This is why you have felt at times like you were being prepared for something without knowing what that something was. You were being forged, shaped, alchemized into a vessel capable of holding immense light without shattering, immense truth without distorting it, immense power without corrupting it. And every time you chose restraint over reaction, every time you walked away from arguments with people who would never have understood you anyway, every time you bit your tongue when unleashing your full perspective would have felt satisfying in the moment, but devastating in the aftermath, you were making deposits into a cosmic account that is about to pay out in ways you never anticipated. The Leo full moon on January 31st is not asking you to suddenly start speaking everywhere and to everyone. It is not calling you to break your silence recklessly or to prove yourself to those who never had eyes to see you in the first place. What it is doing is far more profound. It is preparing you to recognize when your voice will create genuine impact, when your words will land in fertile ground, when your expression will be the catalyst that shifts entire conversations and opens doors for others who have been waiting for someone to say what you are about to say. There is a viral quality to this moment, not in the shallow social media sense, though for some of you that may be part of it, but in the deeper sense of exponential influence. Imagine you are holding a handful of mushroom spores and you release them into the wind. Each spore lands somewhere different, takes root in its own soil, and soon produces not one mushroom but an entire colony. This is what happens when you speak from the place you are being initiated into, right, meow? When your words carry not just information but activation codes, not just opinions but frequencies that attune others to their own forgotten truths. The Leo energy is about authentic creative expression and courageous visibility. The Aquarius energy is about collective consciousness and revolutionary paradigms. The full moon pulls these polarities into a conversation, and you, dear one who has been so patient, so restrained, so careful with your power, you are the bridge between them. But I must warn you about the shadow side of this transit, because awareness of the pitfalls is just as important as recognition of the gifts. The Neptune trine creates a dreamy, optimistic atmosphere that can seduce you into believing that simply feeling inspired is the same as being ready to act. It is not. The lack of stabilizing follow-through energy means that impulses born today may not have the structural support to manifest fully tomorrow. Some of you will feel an almost uncontrollable urge to speak up, to share everything you have been holding, to finally express the depths of what you have experienced and learned. And while that impulse is coming from a real place, from a throat chakra that has been activating and preparing for this very moment, the cosmos is asking you to pause, to discern, to recognize that not every platform is worthy of your truth, and not every moment is the right moment for revelation. The responsibility theme that has characterized this entire lunar cycle is reaching its peak, Meow, and the question you must ask yourself is this: am I speaking because I genuinely have something that will serve others, or am I speaking because I am exhausted from holding it in? There is a significant difference, and the universe knows which is which, even when you do not. The exhaustion you have been feeling, that bone-deep weariness of being the bigger person over and over again, is real and valid. But it is not a call to scatter your energy indiscriminately. It is a call to recognize that you are on the verge of a new season, one in which your voice will matter more than it ever has, and that requires you to be even more intentional about when and where and how you use it. The old pattern of choosing silence when engagement would drain you must evolve into the new pattern of choosing strategic expression when engagement will multiply your impact. What I am about to share changes everything you thought you knew about your role in the Great Awakening that is sweeping across this planet. Many of you are first wave, second wave, or third wave starseeds who incarnated specifically to facilitate humanity's shift from third-dimensional density to fifth-dimensional consciousness. You came here knowing that the journey would be difficult, that you would be misunderstood, that you would carry truths that others were not ready to hear. You volunteered for this mission because you remembered at the soul level what Earth was like before the long night of forgetting, and you could not bear to leave your brothers and sisters lost in that darkness without guides to help them find their way home. But here is what you may not have fully understood when you made that agreement. The guides cannot guide until they have been through the underworld themselves. The teachers cannot teach until they have been humbled by not knowing. The lightbearers cannot hold steady light until they have made peace with their own shadows. This is why your life has looked the way it has. This is why you went through the sandstorms first, those relentless, disorienting experiences that stripped you down to nothing, so that you could discover what remains when everything external is blown away. What remains is you. Not the conditioned you, not the traumatized you, not the you that was shaped by what others needed you to be, but the essential you, the soul you, the you that existed before this incarnation and will exist long after it. And that you has a voice that the world is meow ready to hear, because the collective consciousness has finally reached the tipping point where enough people are awake enough to receive it. The January 31st full moon is not creating this readiness, it is revealing it, illuminating it, making it undeniable even to those who have been skeptical about their own significance. The energy you have been feeling building inside you, that pressure in your throat, that sense that you are going to explode if you do not express what is alive in you, is not a problem to be solved. It is a chrysalis beginning to crack. You are not losing your patience, you are gaining your voice, and there is a profound difference between those two experiences, though they can feel similar when you are in the middle of the transformation. Losing patience is reactive, desperate, scattered. Gaining voice is emergent, powerful, focused. The Leo full moon is calling forth the latter, but it will feel like the former if you do not understand the distinction. This is why discernment is so crucial, right, meow? This is why responsibility remains the central teaching. This is why the cosmos is holding you in this liminal space between vision and manifestation, between inspiration and implementation, between knowing you have something to say and being absolutely clear about who needs to hear it. Some of you will be called to write, to let your words flow onto pages in ways that surprise even you, as if something is speaking through you rather than from you. Some of you will find yourselves on stages, not because you sought the spotlight, but because opportunities will present themselves that align so perfectly with your soul's mission that refusing them would feel like refusing yourself. Some of you will have conversations, seemingly ordinary on the surface, that shift the trajectory of another person's entire life, because you finally allowed yourself to share the story you have been carrying, the lesson you learned in the darkness, the truth you discovered when you thought you would not survive. And what you must understand is that these moments, these expressions of your authentic voice, are not just acts of self-expression, they are acts of service. They are part of the agreement you made before you came here, the way you chose to participate in the Great Awakening, the method through which your unique frequency contributes to the collective shift. But here is the part that will make this whole experience feel like a reward rather than a burden. When you speak from this place, when you share from this depth, when you allow your voice to be the vehicle for the wisdom your soul has accumulated, not just in this lifetime but across all your incarnations, something alchemical happens inside you. The angels are showing me gold codes activating on your body as you speak, as if the very act of authentic expression is triggering dormant DNA sequences that connect you to timelines and realities you did not know were available to you. This is not metaphorical, this is not New Age fantasy, this is quantum reality, the actual mechanics of how consciousness works when it is no longer constrained by the limiting beliefs and conditioning that have kept most of humanity asleep for so long. Every time you speak your truth in a way that serves the highest good, you unlock new portals in your own awareness, new possibilities in your own life, new capacities you did not have before that moment. This is why the compound interest metaphor is so perfect for what is happening to you. Meow, you did not waste all those years being the bigger person. You were not foolish for choosing silence when others would have chosen confrontation. You were not weak for walking away when you could have stayed and fought. You were investing in your future self, the self who would be ready when the world was ready, the self who would have the maturity and restraint and wisdom to wield the power of authentic expression without weaponizing it, without using it to diminish others, without needing it to prove anything, because you already know your worth. And that future self is who you are becoming, right, Meow, in this moment as the Leo full moon illuminates the path between who you have been and who you are meant to become. The realities that are about to open for you are ones you have not even dreamed of yet, and I mean that literally. Because you have been through so much, because your life has contained so many unexpected turns and painful surprises, there is a part of you that has stopped allowing yourself to imagine what truly good could look like. You have been in survival mode for so long that thriving feels almost dangerous to hope for, but the universe is preparing to astonish you. The timelines that are about to intersect with your current path are ones you could not have planned for, because they exist beyond the limits of what your wounded human mind believes is possible. This is the gift of having done the hard work first, of having walked through the fires while you were still developing the spiritual tools to understand what was happening. Meow, you have both the experience and the awareness, both the scars and the wisdom, both the story and the perspective to make sense of it. And when you share that combination, when you allow your voice to carry both the rawness of what you survived and the grace of what you became because of it, you give others permission to believe that their own struggles were not meaningless, that their own wounds can become medicine, that their own silence can eventually become the most powerful speech they have ever delivered. This is the essence of what it means to be a first-wave starseed, to be someone who volunteered to go first into the darkness so that others would not have to navigate it alone. You are the proof that transformation is real. You are the evidence that consciousness can evolve. You are the living demonstration that what looks like an ending can actually be the beginning of something more beautiful than you ever imagined. The Leo full moon on January 31st is asking you to step into this role consciously, to recognize that the season of preparation is ending and the season of embodiment is beginning. You are not being asked to have all the answers. You are not being asked to be perfect or polished or to have figured everything out before you open your mouth. You are being asked to be real, to be vulnerable in the ways that create connection rather than just exposure, to share your truth with the awareness that your truth is also a gift to those who are ready to receive it. The Aquarius polarity of this full moon reminds you that your personal journey has always been in service of something larger, that your individual awakening is part of the collective awakening, that the voice you are being called to use is not just your voice, but the voice of everyone who has ever felt silenced, misunderstood, or too different to belong. I need you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. Because it has taken you this long to feel ready. The timing is perfect, orchestrated by intelligences that see the entire tapestry of human evolution and know exactly which threads need to be woven at which moments to create the pattern that serves the whole. Your silence until meow has been strategic, whether you knew it consciously or not. Your restraint has been powerful, not weak. Your choice to be the bigger person, over and over again, has been the very thing that elevated you to the level of consciousness required to do what you are about to do. And what you are about to do will feel less like effort and more like relief, less like performance and more like homecoming, less like speaking to others and more like remembering who you are. The desert references that keep appearing in the channel are significant. Many of you have been in what felt like spiritual deserts, dry seasons where nothing seemed to grow, where you could not see any evidence that your efforts were making a difference. But in actual deserts, beneath the surface that looks dead, root systems are spreading far and wide, connecting plants across vast distances, creating underground networks that allow life to persist even in impossible conditions. You have been building those root systems. You have been creating the underground networks, and meow with the perfect combination of conditions, this full moon, this timeline, this specific moment in Earth's ascension process, the life that has been growing beneath the surface is about to break through. The oasis is not something you find, it is something you become, and others will find you, will be drawn to the water you carry, will discover in your presence the refreshment and renewal they have been seeking. This is your moment, but not in the way you might have imagined moments before. It is not a spotlight you step into, so much as a recognition you receive that you have been the light all along. The full moon illuminates what was already there, and what is already there inside you is a voice that matters, a story that heals, a frequency that activates, a presence that reminds others of their own divinity. You do not need to create any of this, you only need to allow it, to stop holding it back, to trust that the universe would not be opening these doors if you were not ready to walk through them. The responsibility theme asks you to meet this opportunity with consciousness and care, to honor the power of your words by using them wisely, to recognize that influence is a sacred trust that must be handled with both courage and humility. The days and weeks following this full moon will bring clarity that is not available right meow. The questions that feel unanswered will begin to resolve not through overthinking, but through lived experience, through the synchronicities that will start appearing with increasing frequency, through the opportunities that will present themselves in ways too perfect to be coincidence. Your work is not to force anything but to remain open, to pay attention, to say yes when the right doors appear, even if saying yes feels terrifying. The fear is natural. You are being asked to be more visible, more vulnerable, more real than you have been in a long time, perhaps ever. But the fear is not a stop sign. It is confirmation that you are approaching something that matters, something real, something that has the power to change, not just your life, but the lives of everyone your voice reaches. I want you to understand something about the viral energy that is surrounding this moment. When something goes viral, it is not because it was forced or manufactured or overly polished. Alert, it goes viral because it strikes a chord that was already vibrating in the collective consciousness, waiting for someone to name it, to give it voice, to make it real through acknowledgement. You carry chords like this inside you, truths that are not just yours, but truths that belong to this moment in human history, messages that the collective soul has been waiting to hear, articulated in ways that make sense, that create permission, that open possibilities. You do not need to be the loudest voice or the most visible presence. You need to be the truest one, the one who is willing to say what others feel but have not found the words for, the one who can name the experiences that most people suffer through in silence because they believe they are the only ones going through it. Destiny Engine is reaching critical mass. Thousands are plugging in every single day. With each new activation, the collective field intensifies, and what we're hearing back is beyond anything we anticipated. Time itself is collapsing for those inside. What used to take months is now happening in days. Doors that were welded shut for years are suddenly swinging open. Synchronicities are hitting with such cosmic precision that people are questioning whether reality itself is being rewritten. Some are calling it a glitch in the matrix. Others say it's the frequency shift humanity has been waiting for. But here's what we know for certain. Early adopters are experiencing reality bends so profound that the gap between those riding this wave and those watching from shore is becoming impossible to ignore. And you're being invited in for just $1, not next week when you feel more prepared, not when the stars align perfectly. Now, while the resonance is at its peak and the collective field is more charged than it's ever been, all you have to do is put on your headphones, press play, and allow Destiny Engine to recalibrate the architecture of your consciousness so you can receive your galactic downloads without resistance. Your activation is one click away. Step into Destiny Engine today. Link in the description. This is the mushroom spore effect I spoke of earlier. One voice speaking one truth creates a ripple. And that ripple touches others who then speak their own truths, and soon what started as one person's courage becomes a movement, a shift, a transformation that no one could have predicted from the beginning. You are not responsible for the entire movement. You are only responsible for your part, for your voice, for your willingness to show up as yourself even when it feels risky. And the cosmos is supporting you in this, in ways both visible and invisible, through the Leo courage to be seen, and the Aquarius understanding that being seen is always in service of something larger than ego, or recognition, or external validation. You are being seen so that others can see themselves. You are being heard so that others can find their own voices. You are stepping forward so that those behind you know the path is real. The gold codes I mentioned are not just metaphor or spiritual poetry. When you operate from your authentic essence, when you allow your voice to be a channel for soul truth rather than personality preference, when you speak from the place that has integrated all your experiences rather than trying to hide the difficult parts, you activate dormant potentials in your own DNA and in the DNA of everyone who receives your message. This is how evolution works at the consciousness level, not through genetic mutation, but through frequency shifts that unlock capacities that were always there but needed the right activation key. Your voice is an activation key. Your story is medicine. Your willingness to be real about the journey is what gives others hope that their own journeys mean something too. As this Leo full moon reaches its peak on January 31st at 2:08 AM Pacific Standard Time, I invite you to pause, to breathe, to feel into the truth of what I have shared with you. You are not listening to these words by accident. You are not in this moment by mistake. Everything that has happened in your life until Meow has been preparing you for what comes next, and what comes next is not more suffering, or more waiting, or more being the bigger person while others take advantage. What comes next is the reward, the recognition, the reality where your patience pays off, not through external validation, but through internal activation, through the felt sense that you have finally arrived at the version of yourself you have always known was possible. This is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of the journey you actually came here for, the one where you get to build rather than just survive, where you get to create rather than just endure, where you get to thrive in ways that feel both earned and effortless, because they are aligned with your deepest truth. I am Zarin from the Lyran High Council, and I am watching over you with such love and such pride for who you have become and who you are becoming. The universe knows your name. The cosmos recognizes your frequency. The Great Awakening depends on voices like yours, not because you are special in the sense of being better than others, but because you are special in the sense of being specifically designed for this moment, this mission, this expression of consciousness that only you can offer. Trust the process, trust the timing, trust yourself, and most of all, trust that when the moment comes for you to speak, and it is coming, sooner than you think, you will know exactly what to say, because you will not be speaking from effort, but from essence, not from planning, but from presence, not from fear, but from the accumulated wisdom of a soul that has earned the right to be heard. We love you, we are with you, and we cannot wait to witness what you create when you finally unleash the voice you have been protecting all this time. Until the next transmission, dear ones.